Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Poop Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Phil Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
I'm here for Peter.
Well, you're
Aren't we all?
Oh, hey-oh. Well, you're Luckless Hellfire. This is the big one.
Hey-oh.
Hey-oh. That's right. That's right, kids. This is the 150th time we get to say, welcome back to the Ultimate Spider-Cast. I am Phil. Joining
the flippingest Spider-Man podcast on the web.
Joining me 3 times a month is...
Hey, y'all. It's Lilith Hellfire. Duh.
The 3 times a month eye candy, it's Lilith, not the 1 time a month Ray.
You know, if you guys just had better topic. You know, sticky old Ben Riley.
Oh my! Seems to get Ray excited.
Just kidding.
All right, so yes, remember, kids. Well, if you're just tuning in, we're doing Spider-Man: The Child Within by Mr. JMD Mateus. And after you listen to this, please go subscribe to the Patreon, because coming soon, we're going to be talking to Mr. D. Mateus about this very story, one of his favorites. So do want to tune in.
Yeah, okay. This is a lot.
Oh, yeah. I think this, you can tell this is a labor of love. Just there's so much involved.
And again, Ravencroft strikes again. You always know it's gonna be some craziness when it starts off at Ravenscroft. That's all I'm saying.
Well, again, I mean, I don't know if they wanted to make their own Arkham, but it's like, when you want Dr. Kafka in here, it's like, well, what's her whole point of being here? I guess to run the asylum, I guess.
We'll get there, but I'm just saying that's how I always know. I'm like, oh, we're in for a treat. They mentioned Ravenscroft.
Oh yeah. All right. So should we jump into these? Like I said, this is a 6-issue arc, kids.
I'm just saying it's Sal Buscema, so I am like so here for it. So let's go.
So right crossing bounds, yes. All right. So yeah, this was like billed as like the unofficial sequel to Kraven's Last Hunt, although
yeah,
it really doesn't get reprinted a lot or get the love that like Kraven's Last Hunt does. And again, they mention Kraven, but the big connection is like, there's a few mentions. Oh, Peter was buried alive, but I think Vermin is like the big thing. It's like, oh yeah. Hey, remember, Mr. Mateus created him, so it's like, he's getting his shekel.
I know, but Vermin, it always, I mean, he reminds me of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain. So it's just kind of very funny.
All right, so issue 1 starts in Spectacular Spider-Man 178, Up from the Depths. But yes, writer JMD Mateus, penciler and inker, like Lil said, Sal Buscema.
I'm surprised he didn't just go ahead and do the colors in the letters.
I know. Hey, I think he's a little older at this point. I mean, he might be slowing down a little bit. Come on.
Okay, fair enough. When you're a name like that, you can go ahead and let somebody else do the chump work.
Yeah, there was like other art inkers on him in the 90s. I really didn't like. I thought they like really muddied up his art. Oh yeah, it looks great here because he's inking himself. Colorist Bob Sharon, letterer Rick Parker, and editor Danny Fingeroth.
Thank you, Danny. In advance.
Thank you, Danny. As at the Ravencroft Mental Institution, Dr. Ashley Kafka has been working hard to try and cure Vermin.
No. The devil works hard. Dr. Ashley works hard.
Are you saying she works hard for the money?
Oh, yeah.
So hard for the money? Suck it, Kona.
Whoa! That's my
The creature is fearful and afraid of her, knowing that this is. Wait. The creature is fearful and afraid of her, and knowing that this was instinct is deeply rooted in his past. However, that was then. Now the vermin has escaped into the sewers in order to try and get away from the light of the surface world.
I agree.
It's always feeling called out. The creature quickly turns, not wanting to hide away forever anymore, and lashes out at the rats that surround him for comfort. Ex-boyfriends. Suddenly, his rampage is interrupted by a young boy who has gotten lost in the sewers. Substitute dog in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Demanding to know why the child is down there with him, the vermin hears how the boy needs help getting back home. This strikes a chord in vermin.
But you'll float down here. Why would you ever want to go?
It's not sanitary, kids.
You know what they say? Sugar melts, poop floats.
Oh. Sounds like the name of a book or something. Meanwhile, Dr. Kafka has called in Spider-Man to help track down and capture vermin. She shows the wall crawler the various members of the staff and security who were killed during the escape.
Well, yeah, he glossed over that naturally.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, oh, yeah, he killed. Get out of here. Spider-Man is not surprised given Vermin's past history. Ashley is shocked by Spider-Man's lack of empathy toward the creature, especially when he scoffs at the progress she made while trying to cure him. This is because Spider-Man is still carrying a lot of mental baggage after his last encounter with Vermin, which started with being buried alive by Kraven the Hunter. Yes,
Kraven!
Kraven's last hunt.
But then Reed Richards guilt tripped her into it. So, what are you going to do? Reed Richards is like, I believe in you. You're like, well, he's the smartest man in the whole universe. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Oh my God. Remember when we did that story with Calypso on the Devil the Daredevil podcast? I was like looking at the notes and like, I don't know who wrote that synopsis, but at the bottom, one of the notes was like, oh yeah, she basically drove Kraven insane. And that's why he went on Kraven's last hunt and killed himself and stuff.
A woman drove him to suicide. Misogyny. Don't you just love it?
Did you see that costume? Oh my. I will bring you Spider-Man's head, sure.
Exactly.
Hey, Kafka explains that she also has had her doubts about curing vermin, but after being persuaded by Reed Richards, she now believes she can uncover vermin's original personality prior to his being experimented upon by Baron Zemo.
Zemo! It's always Zemo!
See Captain America 272, kids.
Or don't.
Also written by Mr. J.M.D. McTavish.
It's the one thing I'll do anything for JMD Mateus, but I won't do that.
See, Ray, when you're listening to this, that is a song by an American performer, Meatloaf.
Why do I feel like Ray knows who Meatloaf is? I'm just saying. Ray seems like a Meatloaf kind of guy. I'm just saying.
It's a drop.
Get it, Meatloaf?
Oh. Okay. Oh my. Spider-Man sarcastically tells Ashley that her efforts must surely put the families of Vermin's victims, give them solace, and swings away.
Flip, flip! Oh, wait. Angrily flips away. My bad.
Yeah, angry flip, Will. When they give that angry flip. Even as he swings away, the wall crawler thinks that he was being too harsh with the doctor. He wishes there was more he could have done to stop Vermin. However, he wonders how far he would be willing to go to stop his foe. The fact that he cannot bring himself to kill the creature. This all causes the memories of being buried alive for 2 weeks come flooding back. The masked hero tries to push these thoughts away and hopes that Vermin has gone somewhere far away so he doesn't have to confront him again. Oh, I love that.
It's New York. Everybody stays in New York. It's like some kind of weird vortex for misery.
I love how Peter's like, as long as he's not in the city, I don't care if he kills how many.
I hope he's in Canada.
I know. It's like No, one state over. Oh, he's good. Oh, please. Like, he wouldn't have seen a news report and be like, I have to go to Ohio.
Again.
Yeah. Confine your killing to New Jersey. You're fine.
Exactly. Keep that over across the bridge, see?
Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately for Spider-Man, this hardly seems the case. Not far away, Vermin emerges from the sewers carrying the young boy in his arms, intent to carry him safely back home. The creature is surprised the child trusts him. When he asks the boy why he trusts Vermin to get him home, the boy doesn't know why. He just does.
Oh. All he needed was somebody to believe in him.
His heart grew 3 sizes.
That's my line.
I know. Vermin is surprised. I know, Grinch. Vermin is surprised by this admission and allows him to trust as well. After they scurry away, Spider-Man is drawn back to their position thanks to a buzz from his spider sense.
Ting, ting, tingling.
That delayed spider sense.
It's ting, ting, tingling, ting, ting, tingling.
Finding nothing at the scene, the wall crawler continues on his way.
Oh, God. Here comes Harry. Oh.
Oh, Lord. Meanwhile...
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, true. Meanwhile, Harry Osborn is watching television with his son Normie and enjoying their time together. Harry...
That's the wrong name for him. Just saying.
What? Normie?
Normie's never going to be Normie.
Yeah, let me name my son after my father, who was a killer.
Something I hope my son is, because Lord knows my dad wasn't and I wasn't.
Oh.
It's projection, see?
Harry is then accosted by what appears to be the ghost of his father, Norman Osborn.
The ghost of Gravity's Past.
That's my line. You know, it'd be funny if, like, I DeMatteis writes a good story. I don't want to like mess with his art, but how funny would it have been if that would have been Norman, be like from Europe? Yeah, I just beamed some holograms into him and just messing with him. You know, Norman would do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I needed a goblin in New York, so I just was going to drive my son bad crab crazy.
Well, he did a good job of it before he died, and that's air quotes for y'all.
Oh yeah. The specter of Norman accuses his son of allowing his own son to grow up to be as weak as Norman always saw Harry. Trying to get his son's attention, Harry begins yelling at Normie. When the boy finally stops focusing on the movie they're watching...
Hey man, did he sell Normie's soul? Is that going to be the next part? It's just a circular event of Osborn selling their firstborn child's soul. Oh my god.
Oh no, I've seen this done before. Is Normie actually going to be a piece of Mephisto's soul?
What the Voldemort? Oh god. Don't put that in the atmosphere.
I know. When Normie asks his father why he is yelling, Harry snaps back to his normal personality.
Normal. Again, air quotes, guys.
Well, who was your father? Norman Osborn or Norman Bates?
Is there a difference at this point? I don't think so.
Oh, Norman probably does like checking out blondes in the shower.
And since we don't know too much about his mom, I'm just going to assume she's a skeleton telling him what to do in his closet. Hey-o.
I know. What is this, like a Disney movie? Man, Harry never hallucinates his mother. She gave birth and that was it.
She who shall not be named.
She, her purpose.
Well, if Mom and Pa can get freaking names after 30 years, I'm sure eventually she'll get a name.
You mean Eben? So yeah,
better than Martha.
Why'd you say that name? Harry snaps back to normal and apologizes and tells his son that he loves him.
Aww.
That he's just a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Meanwhile, Mary Jane is watching
cuckoo for something.
Meanwhile, Mary Jane is watching her own movie while she is waiting for her husband to return home. She thinks she hears Peter coming in through the skylight. Is that a euphemism? But when she looks up, she finds no sign of him. Spider-Man was there, but he was only checking on Mary Jane to make sure she is safe before he goes hunting for vermin.
Rude. Give your wife something.
Oh, This isn't New Jersey. What are you talking about?
Give your wife something.
Damn peeping spider.
In the butt is fine.
Well, it's funny because he's a spider, and that's where the web's supposed to come from.
Whip.
That's an interesting artistic choice.
Drops are just the gift that keeps on giving. I love it. I love it here.
Trying to make it comfortable for you. But yes, as soon as he makes sure she's safe, he goes hunting for vermin. Back at Ravencroft, Dr. Kafka goes over her recorded sessions with vermin. In this particular recording, she manages to lull vermin into a sense of security as the creature goes to sleep.
Sun's getting low, big guy.
Exactly. I don't know. Did you like? I did like that, like the beginning pages where, like, you know, you did like the panels where it almost looks like it's through like a security camera and stuff.
Yeah.
See, that's thought put into this, kids.
Modern comics could never.
Mm-mm.
The panel construction's barely cohesive at this point.
I mean, 6 issues. There's probably be 12 at least.
This would be like the Clone Saga. They'd like, keep it coming.
Hell. Meanwhile, Vermin, Harry. I mean, yeah, this would be 12. You know,
bring Craven back now.
Oh, especially if this was like Bendis or something, man. I mean, Harry yelling at Normie would have been an issue.
A whole issue unto itself.
Daddy, why did you yell at me? Why did I yell? I don't know. Let me think. How do I explain this? This might take me 2 pages of shaking my head.
But like the artists must love working with Bendis because all they have to do is draw bubbles.
Yeah, draw the same talking head for like 3 pages. Yeah, just look up the word bubbles. Yeah. Come on, kids. I want to put Bendis on trial.
Bendis.
We should do that.
What, the trial of Bendis? Can we do
Yep,
it?
and all his atrocities.
We'll
have Charlie be his defending lawyer. We'll be the prosecutors.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make Charlie be the judge and sit here in a powdered wig.
Who could we get to be the judge? I don't even know anybody that's impartial to Bendis.
You know who said they would join us from time to time? I know who the judge could be.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
Yes. Let's put that on the schedule for sometime in 2022.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if we just put up that post and be like, you know, send us, you know, your accusations or your defenses of Bendis? Oh, that might
Just saying.
I mean, that will at least get the collective off their butts. Oh my God. I could see Connor McKenna. Give him life for Superman.
I always love a good collective crossover, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
Everybody like gets up to the witness stand, sends in their feedback. Yeah.
Oh my God. We could get some collective members to be the jury.
Yep.
Ray could be the foreman. All right.
We'll get right on that.
Prepare yourself, Ray. So however, when vermin snap, believing they may be betrayed and attacks the camera, Spider-Man's harsh words have started getting the Dr. Kafka. She believes to wonder if the hero was right, that vermin is an irredeemable monster. As she goes through
It's Marvel though. They don't do that there.
We don't do that here. As she goes through Vermin's Foul, her hopes in curing the creature are renewed when she comes across a photo of herself holding a tearful vermin in her arms.
This is starting to sound a lot like Harley Quinn and Joker, but okay.
Aww. Well, no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, physically and mentally, Vermin was transformed. I mean, Joker seems to have a sense of somewhat of who he is.
I'm just saying that the psychiatrist falling for the patient.
I don't know. He's more like the Man-Bat or something, you know.
You take that back. Man-Bat is a beautiful bastard.
Whoa!
Inside and out.
Hey-oh. Okay, Francine. At that moment, Spider-Man is on his way to meet with Dr. Kafka again. However, when he hears a woman scream for help as she's being pulled into a dark alley. Thinking it is vermin, Spider-Man swings in and pulls the attacker off the woman. Willing to throttle the attacker, Spider-Man stops himself when it turns out to be a normal mugger. He leaves the crook.
The good old days.
I know. He leaves the crook for the authorities and swings off again, vowing not to fail anybody by allowing Vermin to kill. Meanwhile, Vermin attacks a big rig, pulling the driver out of the windshield and throwing him out into the street. Getting behind the wheel, Vermin assures his young companion that he will get the boy home safely. Later that evening, both Peter and Harry are in their respective beds with their respective wives. I hope so. However, both men are troubled by
no judgment.
However, we had the redhead floor and the blonde floor. However, both men are troubled by their current thoughts and lie awake. While at that moment, Vermin and the young boy arrive at a large gated mansion. Looking upon the property, the Vermin proclaims that he has finally returned home. And you know it's coming, kids. Little literally yells this every week. Eat the rich.
I like faux gras, so I like a really fatty pate. I'm just saying that's what I imagine rich people taste like.
The nice Chianti.
Blech, no, that's actually disgusting. Get a nice little Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, something like that.
But yeah, I was just looking at. I think we went over all the notes already. Except, yeah, Norman was believed to be dead at this point, but meanwhile, by the end of the Clone Saga, we find out he's in Europe.
Doing rich people stuff.
I telling you, it's my headcanon. He's in Switzerland, land of blondes. I mean, come on. News reports, why is gravity suddenly running amok in Switzerland? Blonde women seem to be dropping from great heights.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right. So
land of the blood. Oh, well, yeah. If he was in Sweden, it'd be even funnier.
Oh, yeah. Sweden. Yeah. Yeah. What? I like chocolate and cuckoo clocks. What are you looking at me for?
Yeah, cuckoo clock.
Every hour on the hour. All right, should we get to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Spectacular Spider-Man 179, Wounds.
Yep, psychic and otherwise.
Yep. Same team, pretty much. This should be the whole same team throughout, so won't worry about that.
But hey, wasn't the annual right before this one?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm right on the right timeline here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
11. It was a great one, actually.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. We're gonna get at least one. One crossover through the annual. Well, the Spider-Man annuals in 2022. So
sweet. Are we still doing Summer of '69?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure. The
entire year. So I split it up among the weeks. Yes. Summer of '69. Yes, kids. June 2022. Right here on DW Know, and even on the DC shows over on Sidekicks. At least we are the Batman podcast and the Nightwing News.
Nice. The Nightwing News. Are you guys the only Nightwing podcast?
I think so. I don't
Even if you're not, you are. You're like Ray. Even if there's a other Moon Knight podcast, I don't know about it and I don't care about it.
Exactly. We're gonna have to do Summer of '69. We're gonna do Summer of '69 on you know what too.
We could, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll see how that works out. I'm sure there's plenty. Plenty to go around.
Between the two, I'm pretty sure, yeah. All right, Spectacular Spider-Man 179. Vermin thinks back to his therapy sessions with Dr. Kafka. She was trying to break through the psychological walls the creature has put up and speaks with the person he was before becoming Vermin. The creature was frightened when he is asked about his home life. However, after some time, she managed to get through to Vermin to the point where he tells her his real name is Edward.
Of course it is. People with the nickname Ed in this universe, they just so beautifully psychologically damaged. Looking at you, Brock.
Any universe. I was waiting for him to sparkle.
Too soon. We can't make those jokes anymore. We have Batpack. We can't make those jokes.
If they will wait for March.
Sparkly quantum
Thanks.
tentacle.
Young Matt Conan.
Morbius?
Young
Now
Matt.
that's who that should have got to play Morbius. Could you imagine?
Oh.
They should have used their big brain on that one.
Oh man, they'd really be begging for Kristen Stewart to come in then. No, I don't want no Jared Leto Batman. Come on.
I mean, he already did Joker, so they wouldn't have done
I was
that.
gonna say, can you imagine? Same guy plays Joker and Batman.
I mean, if we live long enough, I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't want to see Batman with no grill.
Get Clooney to be the Joker. Just saying.
Hi,
Because he's a Joker.
I'm the Joker.
I think he needs a paycheck. He's got twins and a wife.
Yeah, but isn't he selling does he have like a liquor brand or something?
They all have liquor brands that don't do good.
No, I think him and a partner had one. And they sold it for like a butt ton of money. So,
do you know the way he lives his life? Just saying.
he's living off those.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's going to end up like Colin Farrell with prosthetic makeup 5 years from now.
Oh my! Come
Mark
on,
my words.
your residuals. Come on.
That was way before the good times.
The bad times. Now standing at the gate in front of the family mansion, Vermin debates about going. The lost little boy he finds in the sewer asks if they are going to go inside. Although Vermin is afraid, the boy tells the creature that it is his home and that his mother is there.
Ooh, not mommy issues.
No, even though he feels nothing but darkness coming from the home. Vermin decides to listen to the boy and hugs him. Leaping atop the wall, Vermin asks the boy if he is coming along. However, the child says he is going to wait outside and assures Vermin that
Danger, Will Robinson.
Nah, I ate already. I'm good. And assures Vermin that there's no danger waiting for him inside. The creature then scurries across the lawn and goes into the mansion. Inside the mansion, an elderly couple sleeps in separate bedrooms.
Damn. I mean, honestly, though, depending on how long you're married, that could just happen naturally.
Yep. The woman wakes up because she has heard something in the house. However, her husband sleeps peacefully.
A mouse.
However, her husband sleeps peacefully until he is awoken when Vermin starts spooning him. Brushes the side of his face.
The precious.
Seeing the horror that has crawled into bed with him, he is shocked when it calls him daddy and says he loves him.
Are we gonna have to have therapy session with J.M. DeMatteis as well as Chichester?
Crawling in the bed.
Questions.
Crawling in the bed with him, scaring him and calling him daddy. Feeling called out, Will?
Daddy.
Oh my.
This is only the second issue, guys, so you know.
You're welcome, Ray.
Your turn for that drop, Ray.
Oh, don't put that in the atmosphere. With his shaky hands, the man reaches for the drawer on his bedside table for his gun. Suddenly, there is a gunshot and a scream. Vermin leaps out the window, clutching his wounded shoulder. The entire scene is witnessed by the little boy who is standing at the gate in tears.
Okay, then. Janie's got a gun.
The following morning, Aunt May has brought Peter and Mary Jane to the local cemetery. This is where I will lay soon, kids.
Yeah, right.
I know.
50 years later.
This is where the imposter Norman sends will be buried soon. She has taken them there to visit the graves of Richard and Mary Parker. Oh, yeah.
Dick Parker, huh?
Oh, this is before the robot.
And then he names his kid Peter. Come on.
This is before the robots, see?
And the clone. See,
So I mean, no matter what, because I mean, those robots were able to fake them out, so there had to have been no body. There were no bodies, so it's
well,
like
they were, top men working on top things, and lady, top man and lady.
well, so again, these are empty graves. So you can basically talk to them anywhere, May.
But it's symbolism. It's
I
fine.
know.
Batman has to go to the grave in the alley. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's fine.
That's true. Batman goes two places: the actual grave site and the alley. True. May begins recalling the memories she has of Peter's father, how he used to tag along when she and his brother Ben went out on dates, and how he met and later married Mary. There's something about Mary.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Is Mary the? Wait a minute. Is Mary the Martha of the Marvel universe?
Why?
Not
Who else has a mother Mary?
just a mother, but there's a ton of Marys in Marvel.
Typhoid.
Exactly.
Although I believe that wasn't her real name, but
Of course not. But good
Yeah.
enough.
So Peter's father, Richard, liked to watch.
We really don't. We really should get more info on that Parker family. That's all I'm saying.
I know. As May continues her reminiscence, Peter gazes at the graves and has a hallucination of vermin digging himself out of the ground and screams.
Eek, a mouse!
Startled, May and Mary Jane ask Peter if he is okay. He brushes off their concern, telling them that he just remembered he has an appointment to keep at the Daily Bugle. Oh God, I have to go to the Bugle.
One trauma for another, I'd tell you what.
Oh. May understands and goes to her late husband's grave. As May walks off to pay her respects and get out of earshot, Mary Jane sees through Peter's excuse and tries to get him to talk about his last battle with vermin after he was buried alive by Craven the Hunter. Peter, coming soon in the monthly comics, Peter admits that Vermin's recent escape from captivity has been weighing heavily on his mind. He feels that until Vermin has been captured, the dead can wait. Oh, you know what? Mr. DeMatteis is too honest and too nice to say this, but if I were him, I'd be like, oh yeah, I knew they were going to resurrect him eventually. That's why he kept hallucinating. He's like, oh, Craven's coming back. All right.
One way or the other, he's coming.
He's gonna get you. All right, kids. Lilith has been waiting for this. Meanwhile, Harry Osborn and his wife Liz brought their son to Central Park for the day. As Liz and Normie are riding on the merry-go-round, Harry watches from nearby. He is once more visited by the apparent ghost of his father, Norman Osborn, the original Green Goblin.
Gobble, gobble.
The ghost of gravity passed. The specter of Norman scoffs at the activities he has been partaking in with his son. Harry points out that Norman used to do all these things with him while they were growing.
I call shenanigans. Norman was always an absentee father. I call shenanigans.
I don't know. Maybe he thought it was a tax write-off in the beginning. I don't know.
Lex Luthor treats Connor better than Norman treats Harry. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't, he had
Also, a little reference for Ray, since he does a Superman podcast.
Cheers, you buggers.
Nice.
When the ghost of Norman realizes that he did love his son, he is suddenly struck in the back by a
That's my favorite. I'm sorry.
Didn't see that coming.
Ew.
Oh Lord. All right, this one's for you, Lilith. Man, that was not a good back shot. The hallucination intensifies as Harry sees what he believes is Spider-Man. Remember, kids, we'll get to this next week.
See you later, Peter.
We'll get to this next week. Wink. But yeah, Harry knows who Peter is at this point, I think. Well, yeah, by the end of this, he does.
Yeah.
As Harry sees what he believes is Spider-Man, who tells Harry that Norman didn't really love him and needed to be put down like a mad dog.
He's not wrong.
But again, there's all in his head. I mean, Harry's got issues.
It's psychosomatic.
I think someone took a goblin glider to the head.
Meanwhile, Normie's like, hey, Dad, hey,
I know.
look at me.
Yeah, because Harry's just standing there like drooling until Normie and Liz return to him. When Normie tries to get his father's attention, Harry snaps again out of his trance and shouts at the child, realizing that he
Normie's going to put him in a home. Mark my words.
Yeah, one of the crooked homes. Nice and
Shady Pines. So help me God if they ever try to remake Golden Girls.
Oh my.
Looking at you, Peacock.
Oh yeah, Lilith had memories about that yesterday. Revealing all her secrets, how she distracts men with food and sex.
It's my toxic trait.
Just gives them all the Oh my. Hoagie for a hoagie, huh, Lil?
If you're lucky.
Hey-oh.
Meanwhile, Vermin.
Extra mail. But yeah, Harry composes himself once again after realizing he flew off the handle with Normie and suggests they get some cotton candy. When Liz asks Harry,
Ew.
You mean sugar? When Liz
Spun sugar, like whoever invented that should be burning in hell right now.
Oh my!
This is the most unhealthy thing I've ever seen in my life. Next to deep fried butter. Like, come on.
Maybe they are.
Wouldn't be surprised.
What are you here for? Oh, I murdered a bunch of people. What are you here for? I invented cotton candy.
Or candy corn. Definitely that person's burning in hell. Definitely. You don't like candy corn, do you?
Yeah.
That must be like a Pennsylvania thing.
Listen, you southern trash.
I'll take it.
Hey-oh. Oh my god, it just popped in my head. I'm like, we're talking about cotton candy and candy corn. Is Ray like, what is that? What is that?
No, Australia has. Well, I know they have cotton candy. I don't know about candy. Okay. Candy corn might be a wholly American thing because it is a travesty.
Oh my. But yeah, when that Stepford wife Liz asks if he is okay, he assures her that he is fine.
Is Liz a doombot? Can we just get rid of Liz already? Like, there's just something so off about Liz. First of all, she decided to marry Harry. That in of itself is a red flag. Don't you think? Isn't there something off about Liz? Is it just me?
I think she was just like coddled her whole life and like she came from a rich family, so she really didn't have to interact with people. So I don't think
something off about Liz. She's a doombot. Mark my words, or a scroll or something stupid.
She's like a step or two away from being Betty Brant. Okay,
you take that back. At least Betty's interesting.
Oh my!
Liz is like about as exciting as watching paint dry or grass grow. She's never done anything. I mean, at least Betty had her phase where she had some guns and some pouches.
I'm surprised that they didn't do this. I'm surprised. I mean, I just see her as like a battered wife. I'm surprised when Harry isn't in the middle of one of his breakdowns. He's not like beating her or something.
Maybe we'll explore that one day because there's always been something off about Liz and Harry's relationship, and they just refuse to elaborate.
Well, after Brand New Day, I mean, they're like divorced, so
yeah,
she comes to her senses eventually. That evening, Vermin and his legion of rats have descended upon Central Park. Again, substitute that for dogs. This is a little tough. Hurt and afraid, have descended. Yes, hurt and afraid. While back at her office, Dr. Kafka goes over the recorded footage of her sessions with Vermin. She's interrupted by the arrival of Spider-Man. The wall crawler wonders how Kafka could bring herself to get close enough to Vermin to hug the creature, particularly since they both agree he must emit some psychic poison, which makes people repulsed by him. However, Kafka theorizes that Vermin's transformation is just as much psychological as it is biological.
Hey-o.
Growing impatient, Spider-Man demands answers from Ashley that can help him find Vermin. He quickly apologizes for snapping at her, admitting that his nerves have been on edge since Vermin escaped. Ashley tells the wall crawler that during her sessions with Edward, she discovered that he was sexually abused as a child.
Woof!
Yeah. When she goes to the window of her office, she is shocked to find Vermin standing there. The creature begs her for help as police close in on the scene. However, the creature panics when he sees Spider-Man inside and tries to flee onto the rooftops. The wall crawler catches up with him and assures Edward that he is there to help. The creature can't bring itself to trust Spider-Man and reverts completely back to his Vermin persona. He tells Spider-Man not to call him Edward and lunges at the hero.
Don't call me Edward. Guy. Don't call me Edward, pal.
How many guys with the name Edward or Eddie have given me trouble?
Exactly. Poor Spider-Man.
Giving into his rage, the wall crawler begins to lashing into the man monster. With thoughts of his parents in his mind, Spider-Man tries to rein himself in. However, his revulsion and disgust prevent him from getting back under control. It's not until Kafka gets on the roof and tells Spider-Man to stop does the masked hero stop. Ashley tells Spider-Man that she can get through to Edward again if he can trust her. When she tries to reach out to Vermin, the creature bites her hand.
All right, off the rooftop you go, buddy.
As she is
Splat.
Oh my. As she is swarmed by Vermin's rats, Spider-Man rushes to her side to swat them off. As he does so, Vermin manages to escape. Just moments before the police arrive on the roof. While back at the Osborn home, Harry tucks his son Normie in the bed and kisses him goodnight. As he leaves the boy's room, he is once more confronted by the specter of his father, Norman Osborn.
Get in the costume! Put it on!
As he holds out the goblin costume and tells Harry it is time. Oh my. So, Lilith, thoughts?
It's getting a little uncomfortable in here, you know?
It's getting uncomfortable in here.
Oh yeah. Take a shot. It's getting uncomfortable. This is actually a really fast-paced story for as much as that is happening.
Again, modern comics could never. And it
They
doesn't.
wouldn't even touch this topic with a 10-foot pole, I don't think.
Mm-mm. And again, it doesn't seem rushed, so you know. Oh yeah, and also this issue reveals that Aunt May has a deceased sister named Annie.
Annie, are you okay? No, she's not.
Oh.
What? Is it too soon? It's been 30 years. Get off my back.
Just wait till tomorrow because the sun will come out tomorrow.
It didn't for her.
Oh. Burn.
What is this, a Saturday night? A mess.
Aren't you shacking up with that Mephisto?
Exactly.
So, yeah, any other thoughts on this?
No, it's moving along quite nicely. We're getting the little breadcrumbs, little backstory.
And again, kids, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 5, all about Peter's parents. We learn what happened to them.
Supposedly, allegedly. I don't trust anything anymore. I mean, if you're an American spy, I don't even, you know what happened to Cap? They're probably in an iceberg somewhere.
Exactly. Well, we see what happens in a few months.
Exactly.
Amazing Annual 5 with Charlie's favorite, the generic Red Skull.
Just generic evil. It's fine. You don't need name brand.
Some guy who steals the identity, Oh.
Some guy, huh? Charlie's going to get you.
We're doing me now? I mean, yeah, luckily Scourge took care of that problem for us.
We're doing me now?
The only thing that Scourge did that was a blessing, honestly.
Besides gunning down a bunch of
nameless cannon fodder.
Well, in one issue of Cap, he guns down like 19 supervillains in a bar.
Yeah. Cannon fodder.
Although even death would not stop Turner D Century.
It's the mustache man and the mannequin.
You're lucky. I almost made you cover that Cap issue just for Eternity Century month.
I'd have been like, time for a special guest host. Hey, Ray.
What's that Matt Kona doing? All right, let's get to the next issue. All right, so part 3 from Spectacular Spider-Man 180 Wounds. The Vermin thinks back to his therapy sessions with Dr. Kafka. She was trying to break through the psychological walls the creature has put up and speaks with the person he was before becoming Vermin. The creature was frightened when he is asked about his home life. However, after some time, she managed to get through to Vermin to the point where he tells her his real name is Edward.
Thanks for the recap, Danny.
Wait a minute.
I think you're
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
180.
I know. I swear I hit it, but it okay. Yes, this one is Shame from 180.
Shame. Anybody? Game of Thrones? No. Okay, just me.
This will be our 180 will be our episode art. Yeah, with Harry just like strangling Peter on top of the building.
Choke that Peter.
Thank you, Lilith Hellfire. Thank you.
Anytime. It's what I do. It's what I do here, apparently. Whoa.
And again, kids, we're doing Child Within. Please, I don't want to see any articles.
Nobody's help Brian. Oh, also shout out to the 50-year little sticker on the cover.
Oh, 50 years of Captain America. That's right.
Just for Phil, I'll bring that up.
So yes, kids, it is 1991. So
back in the 90s.
All right, sorry. So yeah, this one is Shame. Having fled into the sewers, Vermin thinks back to his sessions with Kafka. She was continuing to learn more about Vermin's true identity, Edward, and the abuse he suffered as a child. When she asks him about what happened when he goes to sleep, Vermin starts to become violent and is about to attack her, but Kafka manages to talk him down. With his recollection over, Vermin floats in the putrid waters of the sewers.
Told you you'll float down there. I told you. You didn't put that feather in your cap.
He calls out to Dr. Kafka for help. He then pictures the young boy he found in the sewers earlier. Suddenly, the child appears to be on his chest. The pair then begins to cry out for help in unison. Vermin is not the only one hallucinating this night.
Yikes.
Going through his family photos, Harry is being haunted by the specters of an unmasked Spider-Man and his father, Norman Osborn, the original Green Goblin. Harry discovered Peter's double identity and briefly became the Green Goblin himself over the course. See last episode, kids. Harry's memories of Peter's double's identity were suppressed, though, through therapy until he started becoming the Green Goblin again. Remembering Peter as Spider-Man. See next episode, kids. Because we'll flash back a little bit. He goes over his family photo album, coming upon photos of Harry growing up with his mother.
Ah, there she is.
When he claims that he grew up in what's wrong with her? She married Norman.
Money.
Oh, you ain't saying she's a gold digger? When he claims that if they grew up in a normal family, the Spider-Man hallucination scoffs at this. The next set of photos are of Harry and his father as he grew up without his mother. Oh, Lord. Was she another victim of gravity?
Of course.
The specter of Norman questions why his son wants to dig up unpleasant memories. Harry can't take it anymore and tells them both to leave him alone. However, the ghost won't keep silent. Eventually, he has enough of Peter's criticisms and lunges at the apparition. Norman cheers his son on, but Harry stops himself when the hallucination of Peter reminds him that his father murdered Gwen.
Ah, there it goes. Take a drink.
What are you saying? Gravity.
Oh, snap.
Oh. When Harry confronts Norman with this truth, the apparition becomes indignant and grabs Harry by the throat.
Hell.
I think you were a little too soon, Lil.
Choke that chicken!
Norman cannot believe his son would side with the man who killed him. Upon saying this, the apparition begins bleeding through his chest and drops dead.
Oh! Talk about, well, you've heard of an arrow to the knee. How about a glider to the chest?
No one can know my secret. That's when the hallucination of Spider-Man admits that Norman is right, that Harry is a whiner.
I mean, we all know that. That did not need to be said. Becoming
more unhinged than ever before, the separation says separation, but it's the
I think they mean apparition. Yeah.
disappears, and Harry angrily rips his family album apart.
I just picture like that part Captain America ripping the log in half. I'm so mad.
Yeah, but Harry ain't built like that.
I know.
Well, you always think about that scene, Lilith Hellfire.
Chris Evans can get it all day. It's the pecs for me, bro.
Lilith is like, put those hands to better use, my friend.
That's an awfully big rod he's got there. Talk about chopping wood. Anyway.
Oh! Meanwhile, the real Spider-Man has returned to the cemetery where
oh God, floating head of guilt. Future Lilith, please, for the love of God, you drank enough this Saturday because,
2 issues in a row. Where his Uncle Ben and parents are buried. He soon leaves, wondering why he went to visit the graves alone as they bring up so many memories of guilt, and he was just there. With Vermin still on the loose, Spider-Man can't get the reassurances he needed from the dead, so he pays a visit to Aunt May's home in Queens. As Aunt May sleeps, the wall crawler lands on the roof, and just being in near proximity of his aunt is all it takes to set his mind at ease enough so he can decide what to do.
Yeah, I'll give away my marriage for this old bat.
Meanwhile, what have we been doing with her lately?
Nothing. Like ever since we stopped bothering with that little pet project of the community center, she has done nothing.
Yeah, except for that community center. Since One More Day, what have we really done with Aunt May? I think her cancer has even seemed to magically disappear.
Well, that
That Mephisto spell.
Her heart can't take the secret.
That Mephisto
Peter, she knows, bro. That
Mephisto spell kicked in. While back below in the sewers, Vermin is reading the story of Hansel and Gretel to the young boy.
Breadcrumbs.
Oh my, as he tells the story, Vermin is suddenly accosted by visions of the young boy about to be molested in his bedroom by an adult. Suddenly, the fear washes upon him again. At that same moment, Kafka is watching another recorded session she had with Vermin. In it, Vermin wonders why a woman won't hear his screams. Ashley told Vermin that she hears his cries. At first, the creature thinks that this woman is his mother. However, he is quickly reminded who she is, and she vows that she will make sure he remains safe forever. Watching herself on the video, Ashley wonders where she went wrong in trying to treat Edward. She is suddenly frightened when she spots a mouse in her office.
Eek! A mouse!
Thinking it is one of Vermin's rats coming to attack her again. Realizing what she's actually looking at, she is relieved. Again, it's New York. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a difference between a mouse and a rat, especially a New York rat.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you get both.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they said, like, after COVID hit and, like, a lot of people left the city, like, the rats just went nuts because it was open season.
All that money, like $2,500 to live in a studio, and y'all got rats the size of my dogs? Ain't no way. I'd never move back. Ain't no freaking way.
I know. At that moment, Harry Osborn walks into his son Normie's room. After running his fingers through the boy's hair, he then goes to the room he shares with his wife Liz. There he kisses her as she sleeps before leaving. By this point, Spider-Man arrives on the rooftop, about to return to the apartment he rents above the Osborns.
That's a little too close for comfort.
Now that's your reality. That's your Osborn's reality show. Come on. See Harry biting the head off of her bat. Before he can enter the skylight, his spider sense begins going off. Oh boy, here we go, kids. That spider sense starts going off.
It's ting ting tingling, ting ting tingling.
He turns around to see Harry Osborn dressed in the Green Goblin costume rushing at him.
Oh boy.
Spider-Man,
you're embarrassing yourself, Harry. Stop it.
Spider-Man dodges the goblin's opening salvo. At first, Spider-Man thinks that Harry is trying his hand at being a superhero again. Again, see next week. But is quickly corrected when Osborn explains that he has come to avenge the death of his father.
You killed my father! Prepare to die!
My name is Harry Osborn. You killed my father. Prepare to die. The Green Goblin then decides to
Wait a minute. Can we just talk about the fact how, you know how Normie's named after his father, but like rich people love naming their firstborn sons after themselves? He hated him from birth because he didn't even give him the name Norman. Like, that's messed up. He hated him in the womb.
What shall I name this hairy creature?
Harry?
The Green Goblin then decides to change the scene of the battle and flies off. When Spider-Man catches up, he tries to convince Harry that he is having another breakdown, just as he did when he became the Green Goblin the first time. At first, it appears that Peter is getting through to his friend, but this is only a distraction, so the Goblin can get close enough to attack. He manages to toss a pumpkin bomb
Pumpkin bombs away!
filled with knockout gas that eventually takes down Spider-Man.
Couple of balls down the gob.
Straight down the gob.
The Goblin decides that when he wakes up, it will no longer be a battle between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. Removing both their masks, Harry intends this to be a battle between Parker and Osborn.
Oh, snap!
All right, Lilith.
Now, this was a good issue. The tension like just ratchets up on all fronts and just getting all that tension.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even more. I mean, the one we get to next week is nice, but yeah, this is full Harry off the rails.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I love a good deranged Harry. I hate when I have to side with Harry because Peter's being a total dick. So this is good that I don't have to be on Harry's side in this issue.
I'm sorry, but like comic book Harry is kind of boring a lot of the times unless he is off the rails.
Exactly. Like, honestly, like, if you know, you know. I think James Franco was the perfect person in the original Spider-Man trilogy by Sam Raimi to play Harry Osborn. If you know, you know.
Talking about gassing people.
Exactly.
Oh my! But yeah, this is getting good, kids. All right, should we get to the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, like halfway there.
Halfway there.
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh. Speaking of New Jersey.
Exactly.
Spectacular Spider-Man 181. Guilt. Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. Just fast forward through this section, Lilith. Future Lilith, please, for the love of God.
Future Lilith, take a drink. The title is Guilt.
No, fast forward quickly.
Yeah, you shouldn't be getting drunk at work, Future Lilith.
You mind your business. I'm almost back at home.
Oh.
Speaking of which.
Speaking of then, while Lilith gets centered. Not long.
It's a monster.
Hey-oh.
You're welcome.
She has a monster in her mouth, kids. I know I'm number one. All right. Not long ago, during Vermin's incarceration at a mental institution, he began to panic one night. There he calls out to Dr. Kafka to protect him. When one of the staff tells him that she went home for the evening, this causes Vermin to go into a frenzy.
A feeding frenzy. Wait a minute.
A feeding frenzy. All right. Now, at the mansion that was once home to Edward Whalen, the man who had become Vermin, Edward's mother.
Whalen!
Oh, my. Smithers?
Exactly.
Edward's mother goes over old family photos. And at the same time, Dr. Kafka is working late in her office, reviewing Vermin's files. While at one of the Green Goblin's secret hideouts, Harry Osborn has brought Peter Parker in order to avenge the death of his father, Norman.
Why? He did you a favor. You got all the monies now. You got all the shmoneys.
I know. Well, again, he was
not a good father. Like, bro, come on. Your insanity is making you stupid.
Again, he thinks he never got his father's love or, on some level, this is him justifying himself to his father. I am worthy.
I know, but it's dumb. Insanity makes him dumb.
But yeah,
Insanity made Norman smart. Just crazy. Crazy like a fox.
You're right. Forget getting the dude's love. He got his cash.
We need the money. Gimme.
Although, did he get all the money? Because Norman is secretly alive, so is a big part of that fortune in like secret Swiss bank accounts.
Of course, it's always in secret Swiss bank accounts or in the Caymans. Of course, it is. But he could have run Osborne Industries if he wanted to.
I think he is. Right.
Well, he's not really, but
well, he's
on the board.
He's drawing a check. Come on.
Yeah.
When Peter wakes up from the knockout gas that Harry exposed him to, he is disoriented at first. Harry grabs his longtime friend and demands to know why Peter constantly reminds him of the crimes that his father committed as the Green Goblin. Becoming more and more unhinged, Harry claims that his father was not a bad man. Although
he's like, sure, he killed Gwen Stacy, but
come on!
You got Mary Jane now!
He did you a favor. Although he admits that he thought she was going to land on that headband, Peter.
To be fair, technically you killed Gwen Stacy, Peter.
Oh.
I mean, technically.
I mean, oh snap.
Instead of like making a nice pile of webbing for her to land in, I'm just saying.
Well, she's headed for the water.
I'm saying he could have made a little
Well, the 20 times he did it during the Clone Saga, he figured it out. You swing down and
exactly
redirect the momentum. You don't stop it dead in its tracks.
A deadly lesson learned.
Oh, he learned it. Yeah, like I said, he literally does it a bunch of times in the Clone Saga.
Okay, y'all get to it on the fourth one.
At least once or twice with Gwen Stacy's clone. They were not subtle
at all.
Yes. Oh no, because although he admits that his father was responsible for the death of Gwen Stacy, he insists that it must have been some kind of accident. He took her to a high bridge. It's not like he pushed her off.
It was windy.
It was the wind. As Harry sees the image of his father impaled on the goblin glider. Oh,
hey-o.
What a penetration imagery in this.
Well, in this whole story, to be fair.
Hey-o. Yes. Peter tries to remind Harry that they are best friends.
Are they though?
I know. Flash is like, what the hell?
I know, right?
I wouldn't want to be friends with me neither.
Well, Harry's too far gone. Gotta do what you gotta do now.
Yes, saying that Spider-Man has taken too much away from him, so Harry must go away so the Green Goblin can take over. Putting on his goblin mask, Harry opens up a specially made pumpkin bomb containing hallucinogenic gas.
Never get high on your own supply. That's the first mistake he made.
I was going to say, I think this quote-unquote pumpkin is what Lilith has every night after work.
No, not every night. It's like more like a Burning Man kind of thing, A little Coachella action.
Oh my. Breathing deeply, Spider-Man begins to succumb to the gas and begins hallucinating. He finds himself in a graveyard where massive tombstones loom over him. The first one he sees is one for himself, the very tombstone place when Kraven the Hunter buried him alive not long ago. Yes, kids, Kraven.
You know what they say on the road to revenge: dig 2 graves, one for yourself. Hey-o!
So I guess this is considered the sequel to Kraven's Lost Son because they keep bringing it up this story. Which again, it was DeMatteis' story, so why not?
It's just the imagery, it's like that Ryan Reynolds movie where he's buried alive. That's like that just gives me, I don't even have claustrophobia really, but just thinking about it.
And again, too, I mean, I don't blame DeMatteis because I mean, look how people just like flocked to Kraven's Last Hunt. I mean, they reprinted that how many times, and I think he said it's like never gone. I don't think it's ever gone out of print. They just keep like reprinting it in trade and stuff. But meanwhile, they won't like reprint this story. I don't think so.
Well, again, the underlying subject matter, they don't want to touch with the 10-foot pole, especially nowadays. So.
Oh yeah, it's not even on Marvel Limited.
Now that is shocking.
I know. Yeah, I dug up my floppies. Yeah, no. As Spider-Man tries to flee, he is stopped by someone who appears to be Kraven the Hunter, complete with a gunshot wound to the head.
Janie's got a gun.
Didn't McFarlane do this already?
He's like, suck it, it's the Green Goblin. Gobble, gobble.
Oh my!
Here's a glider to the chest.
The whole Craven thing, I just love it. It's like, yeah, half of Craven's head's blown off, but it doesn't slow him down.
He's just that good, bro. Frank Castle could never.
No, he just,
Although honestly, sometimes like when you look at the art for Craven, depending on who's drawing, you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, who's who here?
oh my god! That's another thing we have to do at some point, maybe for Patreon. Get Charlie Esser in here and like rate like the best mustaches in comics.
We're doing me now.
Yes! That'll have to wait till 2023 though. We have 2022. We have the bracket. It's gonna take all year. Trust me. It's gonna take 12 months.
I was gonna say, unless we just do an extra episode on Patreon at some point, and like, you know, if we have a slow month, be like, yeah, we can squeeze another one in. Yeah, right. Like we have slow months.
That's why you should be subscribing to the Patreon. We got interviews galore, a guaranteed Chichester chat every month.
Yep.
And in 2022, you know, we're gonna be doing that bracket. Place your friendly wagers.
To find the worst superhero movie. Oh yeah, we gotta write up that bracket so we can like.
Yeah, we'll do that towards the end.
But yeah, kids, yeah, right. Get your monthly Chichester chat. We Kelly Thompson's coming up again. Mr. James is gonna join us to talk this very story, which is one of his favorites. So, all right, so. Craven pulls his face off, revealing himself to be the Green Goblin. The Goblin grabs Spider-Man and pulls him to another part of the cemetery to see who else is dead thanks to Spider-Man. There, the Raw Crawler is haunted by the spirits of Aunt May's late fiance Nathan, as well as Daily Bugle reporter Ned Leeds.
Oh well, that didn't stick.
I don't know. We still haven't paid off that story.
We never will. That's the beauty.
Oh my. Still running around out there somewhere, getting women pregnant and leaving the scene. Who's he? Norman? Lastly, Harry makes. Oh,
shh! Nope. No.
What? I was gonna say all these goblins either get women or knocking up women or thinking they're knocking up women. Okay, Mom. No. Coming from you, that's.
I thought you were going to say something much, much worse.
No. Lastly, Harry makes Spider-Man gaze upon the spirit of his father, Norman Osborn. All right, flashback. Learning that Ashley Kafka is not there to assist him, Vermin begins to go on a rampage. The creature manages to break out of his cell. As he makes his escape, he murders the guards and nursing staff that got in his way.
No, that needs hazard pay.
I know. And back to the present, Spider-Man finds himself being pulled further along this hallucinatory graveyard by the Green Goblin. The Goblin deposits Spider-Man in front of the looming grave of George Stacy and his daughter Gwen. Trying to flee, Peter finds himself face to face with the grave of his uncle Ben. This fills him with guilt. And begs
fine.
And begs his father for help. And begs his uncle for help, frantically apologizing for not stopping the burglar who killed him. Suddenly, his mind floods back to the day that his Uncle Ben told him that his parents had died. Spider-Man is suddenly approached by the ghoulish apparitions of his parents. The constant emotional onslaught finally causes Peter to snap, and in the real world, he begins to scream at the top of his lungs. Filled with fear and panic, Peter begins flailing around, smashing objects. This causes Harry's personality to snap back. Removing his mask, Harry tries to go to Peter's aid, but his friend knocks him aside.
As you do.
Smashing through the wall.
Oh yeah!
Peter
like the Kool-Aid Man.
Who is that? Peter swings out across the city in a state of utter horror. It's your own damn fault, Harry. I mean, can you imagine if Peter just like backhanded him and like snapped his neck or something and been like, man, it was your own fault, Harry. I mean, he's got him in this all drugged up state. Yeah, you're going to drudge up Peter's pain. Oh, you're asking for it, kid. You know what he's sitting on? All that pain. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, at the Wayland home, Edward's father is also looking over old family photographs in his bedroom. Suddenly, a rat drops down on a picture of Edward and his father. Foreshadowing. As he tosses the rodent away, Vermin enters the room, dragging his mother in by the hair. The creature greets his father and explains that he has come to kill him. While in her office, Ashley Kafka is sleeping restlessly on the couch. She is suddenly awoken by the sound of a breaking window.
Yep.
See where this is going, kids?
I know I do.
Hey-oh. Rushing to her study, Ashley is shocked to discover Spider-Man has come smashing through the window. Still under the influence of the hallucinations, Peter begs Dr. Kafka for help. Oh, that's a good. Look at this. Look at this synopsis. That's a there's a misprint here. It literally changes the whole mood of the because yes, here it doesn't say Peter begs. It says Peter begs Dr. Kafka for help.
Mary Jane's gonna hear about this.
Completely changes the tone, but yes, no, he begs her for help.
There's like an F between D and G. How do you make that mistake?
Oh, is there an F between D and G?
I mean, look on your keyboard. It's right there.
No. All right, so what did you think of this one?
Definitely hair raising for sure.
Oh,
Yes, it is, sir.
fucking Kona.
It was a subtle pun.
Oh man, Mr. DeMatteis doing his homework. This is the same hallucinogenic gas that Norman used on Spider-Man back in Spectacular Spider-Man Magazine #2.
Is there any doubt that he is a ultimate spider nerd? Like, hello.
Oh, I know, man. He knows his stuff. See, this is what I miss, is when the writers actually did their homework.
And some of them still do. Although it's for like really obscure, like look at me stuff nowadays, I feel like. But this is like
But I mean, like Al Ewing on Immortal Hulk, man. Like
exactly
homework, yeah.
You can tell he read that growing up and loved it.
Oh yeah, the Peter David stuff. Oh yeah, me and Charlie talked to him once. I'm pretty sure he said, yeah, like he loved that like Peter David stuff.
How can you not? You'd be a dumbass if you didn't.
Oh, I should dredge that up and put that on page.
Definitely. All our interviews need to be on Patreon.
And just so I can listen back and cut up, Kim calling Charlie a dumbass. I need that drop. But yeah. Oh yeah. Craven committed suicide in Amazing Spider-Man 294. Nathan died in Amazing 336. We covered that. Scroll down. And of course, oh Lord, Ned was murdered by assassins in Spider-Man vs. We're gonna have to cover that just because that is where Ned dies. Oh,
quote unquote.
We're gonna have to do a death month.
Oh God.
Because George Stacy, Gwen's father, was killed way back in Amazing Spider-Man #90.
Hashtag still bitter.
Dr. Octopus. And yes, it was Dr. Octopus. It wasn't Spider-Man's fault.
It's always his fault.
Yes.
It's that's why he has so much psychosomatic issues.
And I don't think I have to tell anyone listening to this when Uncle Ben was killed.
Better not have to.
Amazing fantasy.
They don't need to know that. They know that.
So
we covered it. What do you mean? We covered it already.
Oh, that's true. Scroll down too. Yes, we did cover that too. I mean, Amazing Fantasy. Whose fantasy was that? He gets killed, Aunt May's.
Oh, Stan Lee.
But
Excelsior!
Aunt May wouldn't have been able to date and kill all these men if Uncle Ben hadn't got killed.
Tell you, he pulled the ultimate switcheroo.
The Christian rock was on the radio. Pulled the old switcheroo. Yeah, what happened? It was resurrected. Yes, Seinfeld. Oh, did you see, man? They're I guess Comedy Central got Seinfeld, so they've been playing that.
How? It's on Netflix, and they're not playing it at 1.5 times speed. So, like, who the hell's watching on Comedy Central?
I just how all these channels.
And how do you not have the DVDs? Like, come on.
How I need the DVDs, man. I need
done. You got it, buddy.
But no, I don't. Yeah, when those streamers get them, how did like the regular Comedy Central's playing them? I know my local Fox.
TBS still has it.
Yeah, TBS has it. My local Fox station plays like 2 episodes at like 11 o'clock at night. And it's like,
I guess probably at the end of the year, nobody's gonna have it but Netflix or something. Probably.
I mean maybe the more time.
It's just like how Friends isn't like Friends used to be everywhere all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
and now it's not.
It's still on like TBS, I believe.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, and I think Comedy Central got that too now.
Oh wait, I know that TBS is a part of. Wait a minute, was a
Lit-
part of Fox though, so I don't know.
I don't know. But maybe it's just maybe see some of these people with syndication because Seinfeld's probably just like,
oh yeah, syndication deals are just huge. I mean, that has how many episodes? 9 seasons. How many episodes? Like, they don't make shows like that anymore.
Seinfeld's probably like, yes, play it as much as you want.
Yeah.
So he makes that filthy money. Yeah.
I don't know. Netflix. I just don't see Netflix. Like, why did they get it? I guess they don't have The Office anymore, so they need something.
What? Wait, who doesn't have The Office?
Oh, Netflix lost The Office a while ago.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's on Comedy Central right now? That's on there too.
What? How? Well, Viacom is a subsidiary of Paramount. Paramount actually has a lot of money, so
that's what I'm thinking. Is Comedy Central just be like, yeah, do we need original programming? Yeah, let's just get Seinfeld, Friends.
Do they even have? I don't know. I can't remember the last time I watched Comedy Central.
Well, they still have South Park. They have the.
Do they?
Show.
When's the last time South Park even had a new episode that wasn't a special?
I don't know. Well,
I mean, since the pandemic, they've had like 3 episodes.
They have the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and then
that's still on. Okay,
I see the commercials, so it must be. And then
I see it on the YouTubes. I've never seen it on the actual Comedy Central.
Yeah. And Nora from Queens.
Okay,
I'm just saying, it seems like they're doing a little bit of original, but yeah, it seems like
they need to go back to the original like 30-minute comedy specials, and because
yeah, but in the roast, yeah,
I missed the roast. They really lost the plot when they started doing like the Justin Bieber roasts and stuff. I was just like, okay,
yeah,
all right, moving along.
That's the thing. Oh, we need a trial of Bendis and a roast of Bendis.
I don't want to roast Bendis. I want to come at it from a very objective stance.
Okay.
He roasts himself on a daily basis. It's fine.
Oh my. All right, let's get to this. We got 2 more. All right, Spectacular Spider-Man 181, Guilt. Wait.
Nope.
No.
Click the next one, 182.
Sorry. Yes, 182, Reckonings.
It's the ads that keep you on that page.
Yeah.
No, seriously. It's the programming in the ads.
So yeah, we get all 3 on the cover this time.
Flip the web.
All right, another flashback in the beginning. Dr. Kafka is recording another session with Vermin. She has begun making progress getting through to Edward, his true identity that has been subverted.
No. I'm going to stop you right here. The cover. Vermin, the goblin, spider in the middle.
What are you trying to say?
What are they trying to say?
Traumas collide.
Boy.
Reckonings. Through a regression therapy session brings Edward back to when he was 8 years old. He tries to get him to talk about his past and how he was sexually abused by his father. Reliving these memories causes Vermin great distress, and he tells her that he pushes all the feelings and pain down below into the sewers. Get it? The session ends with the creature telling her that Edward is gone and there is nothing left but vermin.
We are vermin.
Sorry. All right, and now Edward's parents' home has been invaded by vermin who has come to kill his father in retaliation for all the years of abuse. Confronting his father in his bedroom, the creature who was once their son reveals to his father that he finally remembers the truth and he will make all the pain go away. Vermin leaps onto his father's bed and is about to attack when suddenly the young boy he found in
if you didn't guess it,
a hallucination of his younger self, yes, kid, begs Vermin not to kill their father. Elsewhere, Spider-Man is at war with hallucinations of his own. After being exposed to an hallucinogenic gas by the Green Goblin and haunted by the memory of his dead parents, Peter Parker...
How? Why? You didn't do it, did you?
Oh my. Peter Parker is withdrawn deeply in the... Well, like she tells him, he was a young kid when his parents died and, tried to...
Did you make them come out of the movie theater early? Is that the whole thing?
Oh. Well, no, like she says, a young kid like that, they, try to make sense of the world. He's like, oh, they must have went away because that was bad or something. Because, I think he was pretty young when his parents...
Yeah, really young.
Yeah. Peter Parker is withdrawn deeply into his own mind. He begs his parents to come back, that he will be good as long as they stop being dead. In the darkness, well, that would work. Bruce Wayne would have had him back a long time ago. In the darkness, Peter eventually hears the voice of Ashley Kafka, who is gently coaxing him out of the emotional shell he has surrounded himself in. Peter,
it's time to wake up.
Peter begins reliving his travels through the tunnels that he imagined when he was buried alive by Kraven the Hunter. Ashley talks Peter through the guilt he feels over the death of his parents, something he feels was his fault because he was a bad child. Oh, yeah, that's true, man. He was buried for 2 weeks. I know he was out of it for that whole time, but it's like, man, he was down there soaking in that guilt for 2 weeks.
Oh, he's got that premium guilt too, bro.
Mm-hmm. She demands for Peter to grow up and be a man, finally pulls him out of his chaotic state.
Why did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
Oh.
Sorry.
Boy, somebody
A
else.
little Disney reference, a little Mulan in there.
I thought somebody else's trauma was coming to the front.
No.
Spider-Man.
Shockingly normal. Don't know why it turned out this way.
Oh, please. Her parents were proud of her. Lilith killed more people than any boy could have.
Exactly. Allegedly.
Parody and satire, FBI. So, this is Lilith Hellfire, not Brian Laundrie. Ew.
Oh.
Spider-Man suddenly leaps off Ashley's couch and struggles to his feet. As she...
they found 9 bodies looking for him?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
See what happens when we go look. See, you people complain, but see what happens when we go looking for a pretty white girl? We find
at least those people's families have some solace.
Exactly, yes. It just, I heard that. I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I mean, are there like just spots around where like bodies are just like decomposing? Like, it's like,
well, in Florida, there's bogs and swamps and stuff like people go kayaking by themselves. And we do have actual alligators. Manatees will F you up as well. So it's just like, maybe not go by yourself.
That's like those people, man. They want to get rid of their spouse. They take them like on a cruise and
then
throw them in the ocean.
Oh no, she fell.
I don't know where she went to.
International waters. See you later, sucker.
Yeah, but Spider-Man leaps off the couch, struggles to his feet as she congratulates him for processing his inner demons. They fail to see the Green Goblin.
Now you have to deal with your outer goblins.
Now that you've confronted your own whining, you have to go beat down that whiner.
No, thank you. I'll just give him some cheese to go with that wine and call it a day.
Burn.
How are he and Harry ever friends? Like, I don't get that friendship. I'm sorry.
I know. I don't know.
Convenient plot point is convenient, I guess.
He needed a roommate.
Where he can skip out on the rent and it didn't matter. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Back at the Wayland mansion, the hallucination of Edward's younger self begs Vermin not to kill their father, telling Vermin it is wrong. Vermin points out what their father did was wrong as well.
2 wrongs don't make it right, but this might make me feel better.
The Lilith Hellfire story. And he needs to pay. Confused by this exchange, Edward's father asks who Vermin is talking to as there is nobody there. The revelation makes the hallucination disappear, and Vermin is pleased that nobody will stop him from what he must do.
Oh, you'd have messed up now.
However, before he can land a killing blow, Edward's mother begs him to spare her husband's life. Hearing her cries, Vermin pauses, and when he confirms that she is his mother, Vermin climbs off the bed and is comforted by his mother. Mrs. Wayland tells Vermin that she knows what Baron Zemo did to him and promises that nobody will hurt him ever again. Yeah, so I guess like the Shield or someone told them what happened. However, by this time, the authorities have been summoned to the Wayland home and are surrounding the area.
It's always rich people. Just
and,
saying.
And back in the past, Ashley Kafka continues her regression therapy session. Now Edward is telling her about his trip to Mexico when he was 31 years old. He was a research scientist at the time and was looking for the notorious Nazi geneticist known as
Arnim Zola! Sorry.
Yep.
Instead, he found old emo Baron Zemo.
Yep. Found emo, Baron Zemo Jr., who enlisted Edward in his scientific research to push the limits of genetic engineering. Although Edward willingly took the job as the work was brilliant, Baron Zemo treated him like a savage because he was a black man. Yes, because remember, kids.
You work for Nazis, you get what you get.
Yes, remember, Zemo was a Nazi.
Yes, all you guys loving that little dance move, shame on you.
Oh my, yes. He soon discovered that the work was being tested on human beings, that his mutates were transformed into horrific creatures partially by the darkest parts of their unconsciousness. Watching these horrible experiments made Edward think about his own abusive past. He begins to feel guilt over not doing anything to stop his father from molesting him, that somehow he was the bad person in it all, that he was nothing but vermin. Now, Spider-Man is still recovering from his ordeal and is still making sense of the revelation of the guilt he felt for the death of his parents, even though he had nothing to do with it. Kafka assures the Wallcrawler that this is a common defense people develop to suppress harmful memories. Unfortunately, all it does is make it more traumatic when these feelings come back to the surface, especially when you're doing hallucinogenics, kids.
Yeah. Honestly, that's why they tell you, hey, be careful when you do like peyote and stuff like that. Because
ayahuasca,
ayahuasca especially.
Before she can continue, the pair interrupted by one of Ashley's nurses. She tells the pair that Vermin has been located, and hearing that he is in Scarsdale.
Oh, not upstate. Ew. Upstate New York's the worst. No offense. Don't at me.
It's a true Scarsdale surprise.
Nice.
Here's the worst. As she turns to ask Spider-Man to help, she discovers that the Wallcrawler is already gone. Yeah, he's already swinging out that window.
He's stooping his way across town, damn it.
Did you say stooping his way across town?
I said he's thwipping.
It's ting ting ting-a-lid, ting ting ting-a-lid.
Thwip.
I know. Whipping his way downtown. She discovers as Spider-Man swings across the city, he thinks about how Vermin's reappearance is bad timing as he needs time to process what he learned about himself, as well as finding Harry and getting him help.
Push him off a bridge. How about that?
Ew. Back at the Wayland mansion, Vermin has become aware of the police presence and becomes upset because authority figures have always hurt him. Vermin turns his anger towards his mother, who he blames for doing nothing to protect him while his father abused him. By this point, Edward's father has come out of his...
Janie's got that gun again!
Oh my. And recovered the pistol from his night table. He denounces the creature, saying that Vermin is not his son, and orders him out of his home or he will shoot. This confirms Vermin's worldview that he will no longer be Edward Wayland again and orders his rats to attack. Oh, come on. You got to be feeling called out about this. I mean...
What?
No, I'm just saying that, no longer will you be... From now on, it's you and the dogs as Lilith Hellfire.
Basically.
Yeah.
Although my dogs are way nicer than me, and I don't know how to feel about that.
That's true. See, kids,
I raised very good dogs.
See, Ray, I revealed her real name for episode 150. Lilith Hellfire's real name is...
Susan?
Hopefully she doesn't get to edit this or something. Susan?
Karen?
Molly?
Martha.
Oh.
Mary? Middle name Jane?
Martha Spiderman.
Nice. It was so obvious.
Yes. Grabbing Vermin decides to sentence his father to death. However, Vermin discovers that he can't bring himself to pull the trigger and recoils away. The creature finds himself struggling between his two personalities, that of Edward, who still loves his father, and Vermin, who wants him to pay for his crimes.
Pay the piper. Get it?
That's when Spider-Man enters the room through... Oh, and the rats. Yeah. Okay. That's when Spider-Man enters the room through the window. He tries to convince Vermin to return to Dr. Kafka to get help. Unfortunately, Vermin's hatred for the Wallcrawler prevents Vermin from listening to reason. Vermin leaps at Spider-Man, pushing them both out a window and onto the front lawn. As the authorities try to get into the house, they are swarmed by Vermin's army of rats. Meanwhile, Spider-Man swings Vermin up onto the roof and once more tries to convince him to stop fighting. Vermin attacks in a blind rage, slashing open the side of the hero. Weakened from all his ordeals that night, Spider-Man is easily overpowered and sent slamming into the side of a chimney.
Ho, ho, ho. Not such a Merry Christmas.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Before Vermin can kill the wall crawler, he is blasted from behind. Shut up, by the Green Goblin, who intends to be the one to finally kill Spider-Man. And for those of you playing along at home, this was the penultimate issue, so take a drink. All right, Lilith.
You've heard of a no prize? Here's your drunk prize.
Oh my! You know his picture has to go on that, right?
Look at me now.
Well,
Nice.
you and Charlie.
Glass of apple juice. No, it's just a glass of apple juice.
You and Charlie got to be on that. All right, what you think?
This is a lot to unpack, especially for the penultimate. But yeah.
I mean, with Harry, again, this ain't going to be the end of the line, but
Yeah, of course not. I mean, that'd be too easy, right?
yeah.
Did I say that out loud? My bad. My bad.
Well, again, it's the 90s, man. We're not, and he has that Green Goblin trademark.
Exactly.
All right.
Into the dawn.
Oh my!
They look like a bunch of little kids fighting on that cover. It's hilarious.
Yes. All right, let's get to the last one. Yes, Spectacular Spider-Man 183, Into the Dawn. Come on, get out of here, Best Buy ad. Okay.
Exactly. Best Buy, they're still in business.
Yeah, there's one near here.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I buy stuff offline all the time. I haven't been into an actual store in forever though.
All right. Oh, and they get the 30th anniversary of the Fantastic Four on the cover.
Good times, man.
All right. So yes, Into the Dawn.
Wait a minute. That means this issue's 30 years old and I'm old as dirt. Never mind.
All right, Grandma, here we go. Starts with a flashback. Young Edward Whalen stands before the family video camera. After waving at the camera, he is joined by his mother, who kneels down and kisses him on the forehead. They are joined by Whalen's father, who jokingly appears on one side of the video frame, then walking around behind the camera, appears on the other side of the frame.
Dad jokes. In any decade, they're terrible.
I need a Kona drop. Are we doing me now? The video concludes with the trio laughing and waving at the camera. But now, a storm has begun to rage over the Whalen mansion. We've got to set
metaphorically and actually physically.
I was going to say, we've got to set that ambiance, kids, you know?
It was a dark and stormy night, and a shot and a glider rang out. Oh, yeah, the storm. Everybody's watching.
Yeah, everyone watches in shock as the Green Goblin had that should be a job. As the Green Goblin had arrived to interfere with the battle between Spider-Man and Vermin in order to kill the wall crawler himself. The Goblin throws a pumpkin bomb at the two combatants, sending Vermin landing on the lawn below. There he is surrounded by the authorities. Having had enough of being constantly hunted and hurt, Vermin has decided to end his life by a suicide by cop. Seeing the creature about to charge at the police, Spider-Man begs him to stop. When the Green Goblin tells Spider-Man to be more concerned with their battle.
He's like, are you kidding me? You're so incompetent, Harry. I could fight you with one hand.
Well, again, he gets another backhand from Spider-Man.
Exactly.
And Spider-Man leaps down off the roof. He manages to get a web shield up, then deflect the bullets fired at Vermin by the authorities. The wall crawler then webs up Vermin so he can't harm himself or those around him. He calls for Dr. Kafka to help as he doesn't know who he is anymore. That's when his mother approaches and assures Vermin that he is her son, Edward. Still fearing his safety, Vermin's mother assures him that his father can't hurt him again. As the authorities are taking Vermin into custody, the Green Goblin swoops in to resume his attack on Spider-Man. As the Goblin buzzes past on his glider, the wall crawler leaps up and grabs a hold of it. I love that panel where he's just like getting dragged by the glider. He's like, this is overtime.
It's like, I can do this all day.
Exactly. Once they are out of earshot, of course, the Goblin begins to mock the tragedies in the hero's mind. Sick of talking, sick of referring to each other by their costume identities, Spider-Man rips off both their masks, reminding Harry that he wanted this battle to be between two men. However, by this time, Harry, so we get our CW moment. Harry Osborn has renounced his civilian identity and completely embraced the Green Goblin.
He blasts Peter in the face.
I was going to say, shut up, Lil. All right, I got to do it. Where's my not in the face?
Not in the face. That taste is still in my mouth. Whoa. That's not the drop we were looking for. Not in the face.
Yes, Harry blasts Peter in the face and sends him crashing to the ground. Harry has convinced himself that he has known that Peter has been evil ever since they first met in college, but you still let him live with you, dumbass. When Peter tries to remind him that they are friends, Harry accuses him of killing both Gwen Stacy and Norman.
He's not wrong. I mean, on a technicality, he's not wrong.
Dodging a well, Norman kind of killed himself.
On a technicality, he's not wrong.
I know.
He should have never jumped out of the way of the glider. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but would you let yourself die for Norman? No, I know I wouldn't. Dodging a barrage of pumpkin bombs, Peter tries to talk sense into Harry, but he is unwilling to listen. When Peter asks Harry what he wants, his friend tells him that he wants to die. After barely avoiding another pumpkin bomb blast, Peter decides to give Harry what he wants and stand still. Harry begins to hallucinate that goes to his father, who tells Harry to be careful as Parker might be playing a trick on him.
He's like, don't you go getting a glider in the chest too, buddy.
Peter assures Harry that this is no trick and stands his ground. Harry charges at him on his goblin glider. However, he pulls away at the last moment, unable to bring himself to murder his friend. Sudden movement causes Harry to crash. As he hits the mud, the specter of his father fades away. Peter knows that Harry could get control again and rushes to his aid. However, Harry tells Peter to get away from him. He tells Peter that
get your filthy spidey hands off me.
He tells Parker that he hates him for everything that has happened in his life and is furious that he cannot bring himself to kill Parker. After a moment of silence, Harry tells Peter that he needs to get away from everything. Putting his goblin mask back on, he will always hate Peter and that one day the goblin will return. And until then, Peter will have to worry about when that day might be. As the Green Goblin flies away, Peter can only stand there in stunned silence. He likens
Oh, God, shut up. Don't even finish the sentence.
He likens this to a time of letting a burglar get away, a burglar that later went on to murder Uncle Ben. Peter believes that Harry will never commit murder and hopes that in letting him go, he hasn't made a horrible mistake.
Yeah, I took a drink. If you weren't watching on the YouTube channel, I took a drink.
Yeah. At that, he's like, yeah, he's a sissy. He can't kill. At that moment, Edward and Waylon's father watches an old family film of them playing in the pool together. Seeing their happiness together, the elder Waylon breaks down in tears over what he has done to his son. Soon after, the Green Goblin stops at his apartment to see his son one last time before flying off into the night.
Nice.
Just before dawn, Spider-Man pays a visit to his parents' gravesite. He tells them of all that has happened and everything he has been through. Now that he no longer blames himself for their deaths, he can move on with his life and grieve their passing and swings off. Woo!
Aww. That is a lot of unresolved trauma.
Yes. Oh, here we go. Harry first met Peter in Amazing Spider-Man 31.
Really? It seems so much sooner than that for some reason.
Nope. Again, it was college, so we had to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember college? We've been stuck there forever, but the movies keep making us go back to high school.
Hey, speaking of movies, you don't remember that issue when Harry met Peter?
Hell.
Honestly,
the MTV Spider-Man that was based off the Sam Raimi movies, it doesn't get talked about enough.
Yes.
It's not that many episodes either, unfortunately.
And of course, sliding time scale when Edward's father's watching that old movie on the reel-to-reel. That should be considered a topical reference.
It's all in the cloud now.
I mean, he's an old man. He could be using old man technology, you know.
I still have a VCR.
Like I said, old people using old technology.
Because I have, Disney VHS. They were far superior than the DVDs. I'm just going to tell you, or the Blu-rays.
Oh my.
They are. I don't know what it is, but they are.
Lilith was like, they're not going to give me without locking it back in the vault.
Exactly, sir.
All right. So, any other thoughts on this?
Just a lot of trauma to unpack, but I thought that it was masterfully done.
Well, we'll have time to unpack this when we talk to Mr. JMD Mateus on the Capes and Lunatics Patreon about this very story.
We'll give you a little taste at the end of the episode, but until then.
Yeah, that's true. And kids, remember, send your questions. You'll get the man himself to answer them.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That's great. So, yeah, I think we have some topics in our head now to talk to him about this, right, Lil?
Oh, yeah, I already did, but rereading it, yeah.
Yeah.
Notice some things.
I hear things.
I know things.
All right. I was going to say we went long, but it was episode 150.
Yeah, what'd you expect?
Yeah, whatever. So should we give the kids the homework?
Let's do it.
Well, besides subscribing
to the Patreon to hear our JMD Mateus interview. Yes, Philip.
That's my girl. Hey, like I said, you created this monster.
I know. Blame me.
Dr. Frankenstein. No one to blame but yourself. All right, kids. So yes. Well, coming up next week, we already recorded it, but you will hear Web of Spider-Man 66 and 67.
No. So close.
Takes place a little before this issue. It's where we see Harry knows who Peter is. And then in 2 weeks, we'll see where we'll get Harry Osborn's return in a spectacular Spider-Man 180.
Return of the Gobble Gobble.
Oh, my. So, yes, you'll know it by the hologram cover.
Oh, they just don't make them like that no more.
I know.
Literally, they don't.
So that's in 2 weeks. And then in 3 weeks, you'll get your another Scarlet
Pants.
And remember, end of November, yeah, that'll be that episode. And then 2 weeks after that, you'll get another Scarlet Pimps episode because
Sausage Man.
Oh my. See what you did, Russell? You broke Lilith.
Sausage Man does whatever a sausage can.
If that's not the intro for the last, I swear.
That should be our intro for every episode.
Anytime Ray talks, like introducing Ray. Sorry, Ray.
Oh my! Yeah, he don't care as long as it's not the "I Love Batman" drop. He doesn't care what.
I know.
All right, so so send your thoughts on that. Again, we'll be in December. We'll be covering No Way Home. So, oh my! So email us, kids, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Ultimate Spider-Cast on Facebook, on Twitter. Join our Web of Spider-Man Facebook fan group, although that's no problem. I believe yesterday we did hit 2.5, Lilith.
Oh my, look at you guys go. You guys are flipping awesome, man.
We get a bunch of requests like every day, man. That thing has taken off more than any other group we've had.
So definitely put the Patreon link in there.
Oh yeah.
Especially for that JD and Mateus.
Oh, I put every Spider-Man episode in there. I mean,
emphasis on the Patreon post.
Yeah. I'll make one. Hey man, I'll make a Patreon post just like I did for JMD Mateus the next or DG Chichester. You people with your
initials.
and that got some good feedback. So I'll do that. Join this Web of Spider-Man Facebook fan group. You'll have lots of friends there. Find links to all the social medias and all the Facebook fan groups. We do find if you want to see Lilith Hellfire drink her problems away. Yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit subscribe there. And again, most importantly, I don't think we've mentioned this yet this episode. Please subscribe to the Patreon. Yes, we get your monthly DG Chichester chat. JMD Mateus will be talking this very storyline, one of his favorites. And Spider-Man fans, Kelly, by the time you hear this, we'll probably have our Kelly Thompson interview up. So she'll be talking all current Spider-Man stuff, Spider-Man Beyond.
Beyond what?
And we're also
Find
gonna,
out.
and we're also going to be talking to Mr. JMD Mateus about his Ben Rowley book coming out in January. His 5-issue.
It's only 5. Oh man, I really hate that 5 number.
Well, again, too. I mean, if it sells enough, I'm sure they'll keep doing it in some shape or form.
I know. It's just 5 is such a
So
off
kids,
number.
so kids in January, go buy that Ben Rowley book. We want to keep going, man. Show them what we mean business.
He's gonna. No offense to you, Ben Riley fans. He's gonna go back into the mists of time eventually. So enjoy it while you can.
Well, we might get a Scarlet Spider book or something.
Into the mists of time, I tell you. He'll be back in another 30 years. It'll be fine.
How dare you? We have 20 spider people. What's one more?
True.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if he started calling himself the Superior Spider-Man?
And then Charlie picks up the book. Wait a damn minute.
I know. Can you imagine? Charlie S. would have a heart attack.
He would.
In the butt is fine.
We see his letter. And the letters page.
How dare you put this travesty on paper? So yes, so finally, yes, links to the YouTube. Again, look at all the conversation it's generating. Or go check out our merchandise store. Cups, t-shirts, phone cases.
I hear the tumblers are bigger for your specialty.
So yes, find links to all of it all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. Lilith Hellfire. Where can people talk to you about their daddy issues?
If you got mommy issues, hit me up in my DMs on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire.
Oh my!
On Instagram at Lilith Hellfire 69, and of course on TikTok at Lilith Hellfire 69. Duh. I just want to have fun on a broom. That's a mouthful. Scary, spooky skeletons.
Yeah, any young, handsome, dumb men have mommy issues?
Look at my butt. A mess. A big finish. Jazz hands. I need that as a drop, please.
All right, kids.
Hit the music.
Again, next week, Web of Spider-Man 66 and 67.
So close.
And then we'll come back, follow this story in 2 weeks with another JMD Mateus, Spectacular Spider-Man 189. I almost said 152, but that would be the episode number.
That number means nothing here.
That's right, kid. But until then, swing on the pack.
Thwip it good.
In the sewer.